Yes, unfortunately it is true. Our dear beloved Baby T-Rex has died, or more specifically, B has died. The second one, let me explain. So the first time they died, I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to go on YouTube and do the dance of shame and explain to everyone that I woke up at like 10:30, and I guess that was just too late to be waking up for a little baby dinosaur. And I was going to come back in a couple days with a new T-Rex who I called B, because the first one was named or A, you get it. But then the next morning, the exact same thing happened to them at 7:47 a.m. And I thought to myself, this can't be my fault. I'm the unofficial official digital pet boy for Bandai. How could this happen so easily with me? And I looked into it, and it turns out that if you let them go to bed wanting pepperoni, even if all their stats are at 99, they'll die the next morning from lack of pepperoni. Because in the evening, if they happen to have a pepperoni call out and you just happen to miss it, and then it just happens to be their bedtime, you can't wake them back up like Digimon. You can't put them to sleep and then wake them back up, fill that stat and put them back to bed. They just go to sleep, and that's all you can do. I tried so hard, you guys. They went to sleep and they died from a lack of pepperoni. That's dedication, really. I'm upset because of course they would do this. Look at this. You hit the button and they flap their little wings like, nope, still dead. Definitely still dead. You did this. Your lack of pepperoni did this. So I've learned my lesson. I guess just always give them pepperoni. I didn't really notice any bad effects from them eating a lot of pepperoni. Yeah, sure. Show everyone the score. The first time they died at a score of 24. So I know it's not necessarily to do with the score. Such a strange thing. They just really, really, really needed pepperoni. So at first I was going to say, man, this is just such an odd requirement, such a weird thing, like what do you do? And I did read a helpful comment though that kind of backed up my theory. Because see, Sarah said, if I remember rightly, whenever I was feeding my T-Rex, I'd give it one snack / egg / pepperoni at the end. So every time I was in the food menu, one snack. And that seemed to stop it asking for more, or at least stopped it asking so frequently. I was also surprised to see so many people reaching out saying this was their very first ever virtual pet back in the day. And I'm wondering if people are just kind of thinking you're supposed to give it a bunch of pepperoni so it doesn't die because they ran into the same issues, perhaps. And again, if no pepperoni is fine, if that doesn't pose a problem, then sure, pepperoni city. And I guess you'd really, just to be extra sure, sorry, I'm going to use Sable real quick. Thank you. Well, hey, at least we get to see the egg rocking back and forth this time. You get to see it being born. Wow, did I really take so long to put the butt back in last time? Well, there it goes. Yay! Now see, I was going to name this little fellow C, but I've got something maybe more appropriate in mind. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Also, it'll serve as a constant reminder to me to never stop feeding them pepperoni. So welcome to life, pepperoni. That's actually just straight up a good name for a dinosaur, if I'm being honest. Like a baby T-Rex, full of spice, full of sass. Have too much of it, it'll probably kill you. You know? I think that's actually a perfect name for it. So we'll call this the third christening of the baby T-Rex, okay? Pepperoni. Now, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to see you guys here in a couple days just so it's not 2 more days of just baby pepperoni, eating pepperoni constantly, because you guys have already seen that. So I'll see you in a couple days so we can see new baby pepperoni content. I'm just not even using the word T-Rex anymore. Yeah, new pepperoni content, so that way we can see if they turn into something new. I'm quite certain they can. Something other than this little goober. It's kind of weird because I don't recall what they look like. I will never forget how much this little guy looks like a frog. So I'm almost wondering if I just never got to the adult stage because of the pepperoni issue. What a strange thing. And I know some people want to go back to Digimon content. I mean, there was a straight up comment in the last video where someone was like, go back to Digimon. And I get that. I like Digimon too. But I kind of want to give baby T-Rex, I want to give pepperoni their fair shot, okay? Their fair exposure. That does mean I won't be making videos for a couple days, and I'm sorry for that, especially after I've come back after a long time. But I made a promise to this little baby T-Rex that they were going to live! And the only difference this time is that I've made a second promise. I'm going to give them pepperoni. Constantly. And I'm sure that won't kill them at all. Well, anyway, let's go see what everyone's up to. Digitize Sky says their first run went wrong. They got Okulamon X. And I mean, you gotta get Okulamon X at least the first time, right? Come on, don't beat yourself up, and certainly don't beat the boy up. I mean, not that you could. I'm not saying you're weak, Digitize Sky. I'm not saying you're a weak person. I'm just saying, like, who could? I can't even defeat a potato weevil. I got attacked once and it won. I had to give it the kitchen until it just, I don't know where it went. It just left. I guess it was just satisfied. It like had a little party with its potato weevil friends and it just left, okay? I'm not saying you're weak. I'm just saying bugs are crazy. And their Pac-Man Tamagotchi, Kit, has Pochichi, and I don't know if it's the same growth chart in this device as in other Tamagotchi where Pochichi is in, but Pochichi, you Tamagotchi aficionados will know, is actually a fairly difficult Tamagotchi to get. They're right above the top Tamagotchi. You know, it's easy to take perfect care of your Tamagotchi, but it's hard to get this one that's right below it, especially because of Tamagotchi's nebulous discipline meter. But it's cool to see. I always love seeing Pochichi. There's also this other picture of them, and this close-up is just gold. They look like a little elephant, a little Fanfi from Pokemon. It's great. Logan Gachi got Ura Mamechi, and how fitting that they would take this picture sideways just because of the lore that Uratama Town is set in. It's called Uratama Town, right? It's the place that's inside. Okay, have you ever seen a picture of Planet Gachi? And so, you know, on this planet, obviously, this is where the Tamagotchi live. Well, inside of the mouth of Tamagotchi Planet is where Ura Town, the Uratamas are. They're like slightly different versions of Tamagotchis. I'm so sad I actually missed this entire line of Tamagotchi lore. Their devices, I've never played with any of them, and I do hope I get the opportunity to do so one day. But look at Ura Mamechi. I know that historically I have said I dislike Mamechi, but I can't hold Ura Mamechi accountable. I can't put the yoke, the burden for the crimes that their counterpart committed. You know, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. And if I kind of cock my head over, he looks like a Mamechi holding a boomerang. Oh, okay, that's not a boomerang, that's a tail. Cool, okay, that's kind of funny. That's like the evil twin thing, and one of them has a little railroad mustache, you know? And he's all like, "What do you mean? It wasn't me, I have the tail." I'll buy it, you know? I'll extend the olive branch, you know, to kind of end this 1,000-year war I have with Mamechi.
Well, that's the goal. Pepperoni. It's really simple. You know, sometimes when I play with Digimon, I gotta lay out like a 7-step plan, you know? I gotta balance out training and care mistakes and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes in certain devices, even overfeeding. But nay, with a baby T-Rex, with we taught Pepperoni, we need merely one thing. The thing I just showed you, their namesake, the titular character of the series now. We need more Pepperoni, and it shall be done, okay? I know a lot of people come through in this world promising you a lot of things, make a lot of big promises about big changes they're gonna make for this community. I can promise you this one thing for our virtual pet community: more Pepperonis. More pepperonis. That's all for today. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. Thanks, patrons, for supporting this channel, especially Shifter, Dog Trainer 89, and Kitsy Fluff. And we have a new patron, Eric D. Thank you so much for becoming a patron, Eric. I appreciate that so much. And I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one.